Hey everybody, it's Time here. It's been like 2 weeks since I've done a video, so I'm gonna do a gameplay video later, but this is like a shader showcase video to show something I've been working on for the last week or so. I'm still working on it, so it's got some problems, but some of it's kind of cool. It's stuff related to off-screen reflections. So you see there we still have like reflection of the trees when we don't look at them. And like, with the sky and everything, you actually get like like all the clouds reflected. I can kind of see it here. If I pump up the water reflections, you can see it a little better. I'll do that just for a second and put it back to what it should be. And you can see here the one of the problems with it. So before we had just screen space reflections, and this is what that would look like. See, there's no data off screen. What I'm doing now is it captures data as you look at it. So you can see there you get like the full reflections of everything, like all around you. This has some strengths and weaknesses. The main strength is it's very performative. This takes absolutely no frames per second at all to add this on. So if we're on like medium here, let's see how medium does. It's been a while since I've tested it. Okay, we're doing 85, so I need to adjust some things because that should be back at 120. Put this back down. Yeah, so that just looks a lot better than not having stuff reflect, I think. And there's a nice trick I can do where in most shaders the sun is kind of like all the specular lighting is calculated with the angle to the sun, and then the reflections are separate, which this is still kind of doing that separate. But I found a cool little thing I'll show later where I can actually turn off those sun reflections that are hard coded and have it all just, actually I'll show it right now, have it all just be based on the environment map that I'm creating. I'll do that now. So this will be with calculating absolutely no specular lighting based on the sun. So all the reflections and everything and the lighting is going to be like much better in cloudy conditions like this because you won't get those sharp reflections. Every reflection is actually like based on just the environment lighting. So when I get into a village, you'll see that a lot of that looks really good. You're also, with the high reflection of the water, you can see the downfalls of this. Like, it's generally good. Like, you can see it's a lot better than not having those reflections. But like if I do lateral movement, like side to side, like here's this big tree. See, it's not moving properly. The reason I'm doing it this way first is because it's very performative. Like, it's just good performance. Like I said, it doesn't eat extra FPS as opposed to having it off. And in most gameplay scenarios, I think it adds more than it takes away. There are some situations, like with a sunset happening, where the quick color changes, and you can see like the edge of the screen, there's kind of like a refresh. I can soften that. And I want to add a reprojection technique to take the 3D captured data and readjust it for each frame as you move. But there's just some complications with doing that in a way that performs well, and I haven't done a great job of that yet. Here's another problem, like I was saying. See, it's not updated, so I'm going to have it also update the sky separately on every frame, and I'm going to have it and that'll fix that refresh you see on the left side of the screen there, and the turning, just, it's very noticeable when the sky is quickly changing colors. So I'll fix that. And then there's I'm going to try to take the 3D data, which, let me show that right now what it actually looks like. Here's a clip. And reproject it every frame. If I can get that to work, that's going to be really cool. If I can't get that to work, the whole purpose of this setup is that it's going to be the fallback for doing a more detailed 3D recreation of the scene in closer distance, and this would just work for the far out stuff. So the issues that it has with movement wouldn't be a problem because it's literally going to just be for stuff that's like a mile out with that higher end version of it. But you can see in general this adds stuff. I'll walk around a bit and show some more stuff. There's a village over here if I can find it. And I guess I'll put water back to regular. That's not an accurate water reflection amount, but I like the way it looks. You can, accurate is like 0.02 or something like that. Let's go to daytime. And this is on medium. There's some other options I'll show inside of here with a reflection kind of area to show what some of the other parts of it I'm working on already do to be a little better. Again, medium doesn't do a lot of rays bouncing around. Okay, but so you can see here with that we're not taking a calculated sun reflection that most shaders do, and we're doing it purely based on the environment map. So when we get those clouds, the shine on things gets really kind of softened, and it should really show off textures well and look like more realistic. Let me switch up the quality on this a little bit. Okay, this is still running at like a lower resolution, but it should have more rays going on, so it should look a little better. I thought there was a crafting table and stuff over here. I might be thinking of a different village. But you can see there's like a nice softness with everything where cloudiness is. And with all these little subtle things, you just get like the lighting on everything is just much more immersive, I feel like. Stuff like this, you can see like you get that reflection even though it's off screen, and it's not just reflections, it's all the soft bounce lighting too catches it. So overall it should have like a really good feel. Here we go, here's the spot I was thinking of before. I took a picture of this earlier. I'll go up to even higher settings just to get rid of that pixelation. I still need to I still need to blend in the whatchamacallit, the bounce lighting that run lower resolution into the picture better to make this not look pixelated like it did on that lower setting. So all this lighting should have that kind of a softness that the clouds have in the specular light. So it just has like a nice feel. Hey sheep. Right, let's go inside of this place because I've set up some stuff. First, I'm gonna turn this back to something more playable. And I'll show what I've tried so far on this. So medium is like, what is it, like one light bounce, I think. And again, this is with the specular only coming from the environment map, which I think is really cool. But having that environment map basically means you can get lighting similar to what you'd get in a render. And it's not working perfectly yet. What I do is I have it exchange when it goes off the screen data into the environment map. And that still causes a little bit of shifting on things when they kind of get to the edge of the screen data, which you can see. But I should be able to completely alleviate that in the future. So part of what this does that looks really cool is you get it still gets that soft environment mapped on all like the soft stuff, but on harder stuff you get all this. And this is indirect light, like this is not in sunlight. You can see like sunlight is over there, but we still have like shadows under here, and, like, shadows everywhere. Where it's just all the indirect light is doing that, and that's on medium. Let me pump this up. Let's go all the way for a second. Let's see what it looks like. So this is what it would look like with no environment map. And then once I just kind of have looked around, all that lighting is captured, and you see this is what it looks like with it. And I think that's such a big difference. So I'm going to work on a way to not only reproject it, but to like actively capture that data, because when you switch scenes, it's got issues, and it probably will even with reprojection. But look at all that, like soft shadows and everything. Like it's just, it looks good. You know what I mean? Like it's closer to photorealistic. But you could see like when it's on the edge of the screen, like that, it shouldn't be doing that with the data it's got now. So I need to readjust the stuff to make sure that doesn't happen. So in addition to the problems that we get with it with being on like in a sunset, the other main problem we're going to get is something that's over here. Like here we've got this environment. I could see that gate in here in the reflection, and you could see like a little bit of the floor, but where it didn't have the data, it's not refreshed yet. So like here we can see, and there's some distortion on the absolute top. I need to adjust my formulas. I know what the right ones are, and I just haven't quite been using them because I'm in a testing phase. And we get all this nice soft lighting on the floor, but you can see that if I move sideways, it's not aligned still until I refresh it. Like I said, I'm working on fixing that, and I want to fix it in a way that doesn't cost any FPS. So if we were just like playing gameplay and we ran in here without me doing active capture, it's not going to have that reflection of the thing back there. It's just got trees. It doesn't have the actual gate until I've looked at it. That's the downfall of this. And on low here, it's just capturing the map and treating it as like a 2D thing. So you can see this painting and torch are here. But if I move towards it and stuff, the reflection doesn't get closer or further away. But if I go on a higher setting, on this higher setting, which is also slow for a lot of other reasons, like this isn't the main reason it's slow, I'm ray tracing through that, so you can see the reflection actually has distance. Like it's a 3D capture of the scene, it's not a 2D capture. But I still need to work on reprojecting it so that moving sideways moves correctly. You can see it's got perspective there, like what's closer is staying closer and what's further away has that depth, but it's not doing it well yet. I need to kind of match all that up. So you see here too, like the reflection maintains the distance in there that it should with like ray tracing it. But this is stuff I need to work on. I have this little test room here I was playing with a little bit too, because before anything off screen wouldn't keep 3D data for stuff, but like if I'm in this little room here, you see that this is the light source. And even if that's off screen, we're still getting that directional light on this because it's saved if there's light over there. And you can see that there's directional light here. And the reflection, and again, this is like me still testing out all this. It's maintaining like that this is a 3D space. So it should all like work how it should. But there's going to be quality issues and stuff until I work more of this out and get the reprojection and everything working. But it's a fun experiment that lets you capture this kind of off-screen directional lighting and reflections at no FPS cost. So I think on like every preset of the shader, I'll probably at least have this kind of like a 2D type capture where it's still capturing 3D, but it's not ray tracing through it. It's just kind of reflecting it and capturing it as you look, because it generally adds something. It's not going to be perfect in perfect reflections, but it gets so much of the soft lighting and stuff like here, which improves the scene so much. And then on the higher versions, I'll probably do an active. See, like that's a problem. I want to definitely get the reprojection to work, so as you move, it updates where it is. But then I need to figure out the best way to do active capture. Eventually I want to capture the whole scene in 3D. They call that voxelizing, and it's kind of a standard thing in path tracing and shaders, but it's got limitations with like quality of like detail, like fine details. So I'm going to combine that technique with this whole data structure I'm making here to have a more robust 3D capture of the scene. But this is what it is right now, and it's not perfect for gameplay because of those problems I showed, but like I also showed, like the difference in lighting it gives you is all these incredible like soft shadows and just reflections and everything off of everything, because this shader is based on PBR textures and lighting, so it wants to reflect things like it's millions of rays of light, like bouncing multiple times, so it really wants to capture a quality image, and the lighting is built to have that light bouncing all over the place. So it's amazing just seeing the difference of like, here's without it having the right data, and then if you give it the right data, you get this much better of lighting. So I need to get that data in there. So this is the first step, was making a structure that holds data off screen for it to reflect into. And then the next step is refreshing the sky every frame, getting stuff to move as you move. And then as I'm calling this the onion, because it has many layers in 3D around you. So I'm working with the outer layer first, and then as I get things working, I'm going to work my way in towards the center of the onion, where there will be a full 3D recreation of the scene that I can path trace and ray march through. But I think that this is really a nice improvement to the way the shader works, and it's going to really add a lot to the lighting, and I think this really gets like a much more photorealistic feel. Some stuff is a little bit too shiny still. I'm working on some of the details of the lighting. It's before I called it my jank tracing version 9, and this is up to version 12 now. I've gone through a few iterations since trying to do the off-screen lighting to kind of rebalance things. Let me get off our ultra. FPS is starting to bother me. Yeah, I just need to kind of keep iterating through. But I wanted to show where I was, because I hadn't really shown any progress in a few weeks. I guess like 2 weeks. And this is where I'm at right now. And it's a lot of work, and just like iterating through to kind of get things where I want them. The angle isn't quite. And eventually I'll have it just work. Oh, look at this guy. All just work better. But I feel like this captures much more feeling in the scene. And the swamp is a good place for it, because there's so much that's wet and there's stuff that isn't, so you really kind of get that, just that feeling of like how much the light is lacking, I think, in most shaders, probably in any game, not just Minecraft, because this global illumination path tracing type stuff is generally not the most popular technique, because like it's harder to manage. and do. But yeah, that's what this is for now, and that's what I'm working on. And hope everybody's been having a good few weeks. I'm gonna keep working on this, and I'm trying to get a bunch of bugs out to clean it up and get it like working and optifine and everything, and just get other stuff fixed. This is also gonna end up helping me make TAA to get rid of that shimmer in the clouds. That's when I'm on low resolution on medium here. But I want to get this better, and I feel like this is such a big improvement. I'm excited to keep working on it. See, there's a little, you can see the change a little bit now. When I adjust the mouth and everything, that'll and do better formulas. That shouldn't be a problem. Also, medium has such a low ray accuracy that you could see like the reflection isn't perfect on the blob. If I up this, it should show up. I might just put my foot in my mouth. Yeah, there we go. And that's all stuff I need to, once I get all this stuff working how I want to, I'll get performance working better. But yeah, off-screen reflections. This is step one of them, and I feel like it adds a lot. So it captures good like that, but sideways motion is a problem. So we'll go from here. Like I said, this is just showing what it looks like when the data is there, and now I've got to work on ways to have the data be coherent and like actively capture it in a way that doesn't eat frames per second. And I'm gonna try to do that my best, because on like Ultra here, this is already like not playable. So I'm gonna try to, like I'm always trying to do, get the looks on medium to be as close to that as possible, and generally keep it above 120 FPS. Which right now it's on 85, so I need to fix that. Almost like, did I cap it back? Yeah, I capped it. Oof, it's worse than 85. I was 100 looking at the sky. I guess the sky isn't the heaviest thing anymore. But yeah, once I get this all working, I can definitely optimize it. Because right now I'm doing a whole separate trace once it goes off screen, and I can have that just be one trace that's combined later. See those problems? Those will be in the next iteration of this. That'll be fixed. I haven't uploaded this yet, so if anyone that's on the Patreon for early access wants to play with this, let me know and I'll update it. But I'm trying to work out some of the off-screen shenanigans, like the sky updating and stuff, before I upload this, unless somebody really wants it, just to take like really good screenshots. But yeah, have a good week. I'll talk to you guys soon.